It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we got a beer from Devil's Backbone Brewing Company, and it's a bottle of their Vienna Lager, a Vienna style lager, coming in at 4.9% ABV. I was lucky enough to meet the guys from Devil's Backbone Brewing Company, Josh and Jason Oliver, the head brewer, and Josh's wife. Great guys. We met them in Cardiff. They travelled over as part of their collaboration with Wetherspoons, and they were kind enough to give me some of their beers. They brought them especially for me from the brewery. So fresh beer, let's get it out into a glass, see what we get. Now Jason was telling me that this Vienna Lager is their best seller. It's their best selling beer at Devil's Backbone. Not an IPA, not a pale ale, not an imperial stout, but a Vienna style lager, so it must be good. And to be honest, when I first got into craft beer, real ale, about 5 years ago, I really distanced myself from lager. It was just a natural reaction from where I came from. Just drinking lagers for years and years and years, went on to the bitters, went on to the ales, opened the channel. So it was a journey really from lager to ale, and I didn't even want to return to lager even for the good stuff. It took me a good while, and then I started to drink hoppy lagers and of course great German style lagers, and my love affair with lager came back, and to where we are kind of today, where I'll look to drink a very good lager. And they seem to be coming back in fashion. A lot of people seem to be drinking a lot of good lager. I was with the head brewer of Thornbridge Brewery at the Great British Beer Festival back in August, and he was just drinking pint after pint of different German pills, and it was a good thing. It's a good thing. Anyway, it's completely off the subject. Well, not off the subject, but going off a little bit to one side too much. Let's get back to the beer review. So beer in the glass then. It's a lovely deep amber coloured ale. Nice levels of carbonation. The head did dissipate quite quickly. Let's get the aroma on this clear beer. Yeah, and that's chock full of flavour. On the bottle here we have the picture of the countryside, all of that lovely malt, wheat, next to a road with a bird flying, sun shining, and it gives you a sense as soon as you kind of get into this aroma. It somehow gives you a feel for that label, kind of moves this way from the label into the beer somehow. You get a lot of malt, a lovely bready sweetness, and of course that lager yeast. Let's dive in. Cheers. Oh my goodness me. And yes, of course, the love affair with lager continues. This is a magnificent beer. Oh, that is so good. Unbelievably good. Right, I will get some taste for you. I'm just kind of bowled over by this beer, completely bowled over. I get the lager yeast. It's a little bit lemony. It's kind of fruity, and it's lager. It's lager. I've cooled this down, but the flavours still come through because it's malt. It has got hops in the beer. It is a little bitter on the back end, but it's not a predominant big hop forward beer. It's a big bready, juicy, sweet, malty lager, and boy is it refreshing. To be honest, there's a big part of me that's struggling just to get over how good this beer is. Of course, when I drink a big strong, full IPA with all them hoppy flavours. I can describe all of them flavours. I can describe big porters, big imperial stouts. But this description that I'm looking for it's there. I'm gonna find it, but it's a mixture of a lot of small things in the beer, lots of little small subtle flavours that are going on, that with anything it's like little cogs in a clock. Them little cogs each do a job, and it all comes together for the time to tick around and the watch to be complete. And there's enough little cogs in this beer for the beer to be an absolute complete beer. It's magnificent. So first of all, what do you want from a lager? You want it to be cool, you want it to be refreshing, you want it to be crisp. It's all of them things. You want a nice level of carbonation. It's a nice level of carbonation. It's not too much, it's not too gassy, it's not overly done. Then moving on to the flavours. There's that subtle lager yeast, that subtle lemon flavour. And that's probably coming from the hop also, like a lemon finish. But in between all of that, it's a big sweet bomb. It's bready, it's biscuity, it's malty. And it's like a very weird best bitter. When I rave about best bitters, when they make a great best bitter, when I get a great best bitter to review, a little bit like Bristol Beer Factory's Gold. Magnificent beer. And they're 7, a wonderful best bitter, loads of biscuity, bready flavours. But this has got that, but with that lager yeast, but with that cool, refreshing crispness of a lager. I could drink this all day long. And I suppose it's a lot of people drinking craft beer these days, but you will find people that downright refuse. They want to stick with the mass produced stuff. It's what they're used to, it's what they've grown up with, they don't want to change. I think this could change people. I think this beer would be that first step in the right direction to drinking good beer. Vienna Lager, Vienna style lager from Devil's Backbone Brewing Company, 4.9% ABV. It is just truly wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Rating. When I drink a great beer, I don't hold back. I don't give a 9 or a 9.5. I don't see the point in taking anything off if there's nothing to take off. Some people will refuse to give a 10. They'll refuse to give a 9.5. But I'm not one of them people. I'm going to say it's a 10 out of 10 beer. There is nothing you can say to take anything away from this beer. For me, it's perfection. It's a perfect Vienna style lager. I could drink this by the bucket load. Thanks to the guys at Devil's Backbone for passing me on these beers. I would like to stress at this point of the review, I am not giving it a 10 out of 10. I am not raving about this beer because they gave me a beer. If it was poor, I would tell you. It's just the fact that it's a great beer. Thanks for watching. Put your comments in the comments box. Please subscribe to our daily beer reviews, and cheers.